Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is actually kind of an unplanned video. I wasn't planning on doing it until I realized that Disney had a slew of announcements come from this week. So I was getting kind of little breaking news left and right, about the MCU or Star Wars or something, and I was like, wow, we're just really getting a whole lot of good stuff this week. And then I was like, wait a minute, something happened here, like some sort of Comic-Con or panel or something, because there are slates for like every big studio now under Disney, including Disney and Pixar. And that's when I looked it up and realized that Disney had, I think it was called Disney Investor Day, something like that. And they just put out all of their plans for like the next 2 years worth of stuff. And I have a lot of thoughts on all of them. So, starting off with Disney itself, Disney and Pixar, they have a lot of new shows coming out, including Tiana, which I believe is going to be for Princess and the Frog, since it was Princess Tiana, Baymax, which I'm really actually excited for, Zootopia Plus, which is that what it's going to be called? Zootopia Plus on Disney Plus? And Moana, which I also think is going to be really cool. I'm not like I'm excited for the shows. I'm probably not gonna like watch them all religiously or anything. I think the one I'd be most excited for is Baymax because I think you could really do a lot of fun stuff with that. But the others, I think, they'll do well. But I wonder if they're gonna be more of like the, when they did when Nickelodeon and Disney did those things like TV shows based off movies that they did, like the Penguins of Madagascar or what was it, Home on the Range, like the show. We'll see. I think these will be definitely better because these are based off movies that people really, really liked. There's also going to be one called, I believe it's Iwaju. Sorry if I butchered that, but it's going to be Disney pairing up with a production company called Pan African, and it's going to be some dystopian kind of show, which looks actually really, really cool. There's also another show that I'm interested in, but I'm really, really hesitant about. It's actually a movie. It's the Buzz Lightyear movie, and I'm not sure how to feel about that because it's not going to be Tim Allen. It's going to be Chris Evans, which, if you're going to have another person play Buzz Lightyear, that's actually a really, really good choice. But the fact that they're doing it is a little skeptical. It's like his own solo movie, and it doesn't even look like it's actually Buzz. It's like some other weird version of Buzz. I'm not quite sure what they're doing there. You definitely got lucky with Toy Story 4 being as good as it was, so don't push it. In terms of the Star Wars universe, Lucasfilm, well, it's Lucasfilm, but I say it's the Star Wars universe because they put out a slate of 14 different things that they're putting out in the next 2 or so years. And 11 of them are Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but I think it's definitely getting, if not already gotten, oversaturated. There's no possible way that, at least at once, you can have every single one of these shows have enough world expanding or character expanding to justify having its own show for each one of these things. Star Wars is one that it's space. You can continuously expand. But this really gets, this gets into a whole argument of like, what's the purpose of a side character? Is it just to be a side character with a little depth, or would it be cool to see the whole background as if this side character was a main character for every single person? That way you have a full universe where you know all these people. It's interesting because should you do that or shouldn't you? What's the point of a movie? Is it to have an entertaining movie where you have characters who are just those characters, or is it to explore every single aspect of something? That's a really big topic to discuss. I just personally think that while I'm not fluent as much as other people in the Star Wars universe, I am nowhere near as, like I've never seen the animated shows. I haven't read any comics or anything, so I don't know as much as other people about the universe. But just as a viewer of Star Wars, a fan of Star Wars, and somebody who watches most of the mainstream stuff, it just feels oversaturated. Like we're making whole shows about things like Andor. I think there's one, I think it's going to be about R2D2. It just says it's a droid story. I'm not quite sure. But I don't know. It just feels like, why are we putting all of this money and effort into something that's a small part of one thing when we could just make a whole new thing? Also, I think it's really funny that they're making one called The Bad Batch, and like at first I definitely thought multiple times it was called The Bad Bitch. I would definitely watch that Star Wars show. However, Lucasfilm has finally put back in the discussion that they're confirming that they're doing Indiana Jones 5. Woo! I'm very excited about it. I know a lot of people are like, is Harrison Ford going to be in it? Is he going to be too old? He was too old in the last one. What about that refrigerator scene and the aliens? Whatever. It's Indiana Jones. I don't care. If you get 7,000 Star Wars shows, I get one more Indiana Jones. And finally, we have the MCU, which is just, I mean, you want to talk about oversaturated, but I think that's oversaturated in a better way because it's not just like nitpicking little details. It's actually doing new stuff. I mean, the MCU is brilliant. I mean, Endgame. They came out with Endgame, and people were probably like, how are you going to top Endgame? This whole culmination of 3 phases worth of stuff. Hold my beer, and let's just do wacky fun stuff in phase 4 with the Spider-Verse and the multiverse. I mean, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. Spider-Verse, we've now confirmed that there's going to be Dr. Octopus with Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock. We're going to have Jamie Foxx. We already knew that, come back as Electro. We now have Daredevil. We now have the multiverse because Doctor Strange is going to be in it. And if that wasn't enough, now we have confirmed that there is going to be a Spider-Verse with at least Andrew Garfield, if not Tobey Maguire. And I think this is cool on so many levels, not just because we get the Spider-Verse, but it kind of looks like Marvel, like the MCU, might be trying to right some wrongs with the last 2 Spider-Man franchises, which would be really, really cool. It would make it feel like it was all worth it in the end. So I'm very excited about that. My one worry is that it feels like they're packing too much into this, especially with Spider-Man being on the run. It feels like there might be too many subplots. I don't know how they're going to do it. It might just be little cameos here and there. But if the MCU can't do it, nobody else can. Like, if somebody was going to do a Spider-Man 3 where there was too much in it and do it right, it would be the MCU. There was a few other things that they put out, like that we already knew were coming out, like Blade, all the shows, WandaVision and Loki, which I'm excited for them. I'm probably not going to watch all of them. I'm definitely going to be watching WandaVision because apparently if you don't watch it, you might get confused in the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange 2, just because Wanda's going to be in it. And so there might be some little things in that show. It's only going to be 6 episodes, which will be nice. It won't be, too much of a commitment to try to piece all those things together. I also am going to be watching What If now because I didn't know what it was going to be about. It definitely seems dumb to not know what If is about because it's going to be, what if we did this instead of that? That seems pretty self-explanatory, but I don't know. They had Captain America as like a skeleton as the promo or something, and I was very confused at first. But now this sounds like it's going to be really, really cool. And of course, the other very big announcement from Marvel is that they're going to be doing Fantastic Four. Now, we already knew this, but it's definitely confirmed now, and they seem to be putting it in the spotlight. It's going to be so cool. Again, if anybody's going to be able to do Fantastic Four right, it's going to be the MCU, because that's another one that they've tried it twice. And the first time it was okay, but, it's kind of like your original Spider-Mans. You love it for the nostalgia, but they weren't the best made. And then they made Fan-4-Stick. I'm very excited. I wanted John Krasinski to be, like most people, to be Mr. Fantastic, and Emily Blunt to be Miss Invisible. Is that what it is? Miss Invisible? I gotta look that up. I might be thinking of Miss Appear from SpongeBob. He's actually probably going to be the alternate parallel universe Captain America. He's in talks to be that. So we'll see how all that goes. Overall, I think that we have a lot to look forward to. It definitely seems like it could be dialed back a little bit so that we're not like oversaturated with stuff, and we could be excited about a few things at one time. However, one of my friends, Jared, on his channel that I always talk about, made a good point that we've had a lot of nothing this year, and so having a lot of everything to look forward to is probably better. It's definitely, I would take that over a lot of nothing. So we have a ton to look forward to. So keep me updated on if you find any other updates on Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, whatever it might be. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited for. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and movies right in the middle. I'll see you guys later.